Shankara Chandra Humble prostrations and all present here. So yesterday we were discussing the essence of the Vedantic knowledge, the knowledge of the whole scriptures. So what is that knowledge? That Lord, creator of the universe, upon which the whole world exists, the center of the universe, that Lord is none other than the selfness. It's not somewhere outside, right there in the very self itself, that truth is present. So yesterday we were seeing the fundamentals. So with what theory did we explain this? Identification theory. So what is identification theory? When entity A identifies with entity B, the properties of B appear to be the properties of A. So with this theory, so what is our nature? We are such an absolute existence, absolute knowledge, absolute bliss. Perfection is our nature. Immortality is our nature. Divinity is our nature. We are never away from God. In fact, we are God. This is our true nature. That is why we have a natural inclination towards goodness. Whatever is sacred, whatever is good, we love it. We want to exist. We want to exist forever and ever and ever. We want to be happy because happiness is our nature. We want to be immortal because immortality is our nature. We want to be famous also. Why? Because infinity is our nature. You see, famous means what? I should be known by everybody. Means what? I want to be present everywhere. Where is this desire? I want to be powerful. Why I have this desire to be powerful? Because omnipotence is our nature. I want to know everything. Why? Omniscience is our nature. I want to be influential and famous because omnipresence is our nature. So whatever is our nature, we will have a natural desire. But what is the mistake we have done? Identification. Instead of identifying with our true nature, our identification is now with the body. So now when we identify with the body, what will we experience? Not the properties of consciousness, but the properties of the body. Now what are the properties of body? Body is finite. In fact, all the properties of body is just the opposite of the properties of consciousness. Consciousness is infinite, body is finite. Consciousness is immortal, body is mortal. Consciousness is of the nature of bliss, body is of the nature of what you call disease, pain, sorrow, finitude, limitation, imperfection. That is body. So now today we are identified with the body. We don't know why we are miserable, why we are sorrowful. So what are we trying to do today in our ignorance? We are trying to improve the body, make this body a little more healthy, little more beautiful. But will it solve the problem? It will not solve the problem because our desire is infinity, immortality. You may improve this body a little, but still the desire will continue because the body cannot fulfill these innate desires in us. As long as identification with the body continues, how much ever good that body may be, healthy that body may be, beautiful that body may be, talented that body may be, but still that desire will not be fulfilled. So then what is the only solution? The only solution is disidentify with this body and identify with our true nature. As long as we identify with the body, desires will continue. Once you identify with the body, there will be a lot of desires. Desire to be healthy, desire to indulge in the pleasures, all these will continue. And as long as desires are there, rebirth is guaranteed. What is the fundamental of rebirth? At the time of death, whatever desires we entertain, those desires will be the seed for the next birth. This is the logic. At the time of death, whatever unfulfilled desires are there, those unfulfilled desires will bubble up at the time of death. And these unfulfilled desires will be fulfilled in the next birth. So again we come back to this world. This is how the rebirth cycle continues. So as long as body identification remains, so long coming back to this world cannot be avoided. Now you may ask, Swamiji, what is the problem in coming back to this world? I love this world. So many food I have not yet eaten. I want to eat Italian, Mexican, so many things are there. So many places I have not visited. What is the problem in coming back to this world? In fact, some people came and asked me also, Swami, you say Moksha. I don't want Moksha. There are so many places I have not visited. Swami, you people are all very pessimistic. You only see the bitter aspects of life. Enjoy life. So, to such people of answering this, life is full of bitter realities only. Bhagavan himself is saying this. Bhagavan calls this world Dukhalayam. Alayam means abode. Vidyalaya means what? Vidya means knowledge. So abode of knowledge. School is called Vidyalaya. Aushadhalaya means what? Aushadha means medicine. Aushadhalayam means medical store. Ashwalayam. Ashwa means horse. So, Ashwalayam means horse tail. It's the same thing. Dukhalayam means what? Dukha means sorrow. Abode of sorrow. That is his word. What are the different types of sorrows which we cannot avoid? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukha Dosha, Darsana. A wise person, Anudarsana, constantly sees. This is the vision of wisdom. What does he see? Dukha Dosha. He sees in this world the defect of sorrow. What are the different types of sorrow? Janma is sorrow, birth is sorrow. No child comes out laughing. Every child comes out crying out from the womb. Janma, second one, Mrityu, death is sorrow. Jara, old age is sorrow. Vyadhi, disease is sorrow. Now these are the things which will again and again come to every one of us. Janma Mrityu will be the starting point and ending point, but in between, sometimes association with certain people is sorrow, sometimes separation from certain people is sorrow. But in the end, death alone will have the last laugh. This is the nature of life. So, for people who are sensitive enough, they find only misery in coming back to this world. It is not a pessimistic vision, it is a realistic vision. It's a fact of life, it's a bitter fact of life. You cannot ignore it. Spirituality talks about realities of life. You have to pay attention to the reality. Only then you will really come to understand the value of spiritual knowledge. Suppose we gain this knowledge. What is the knowledge? I am not the body, I am consciousness. Then what will happen to this person at the time of death? Will he have any desires? At the time of death he will have no desires because his mind is in that blissful self. He is experiencing infinite happiness, infinite peace. Such a person who is infinitely happy cannot have any desire. Because all the desires are for happiness only. So at the time of death, his mind is in the self. In the language of devotion, his mind is at the lotus feet of God. They are all different languages, but it's the same thing. Remembrance of God, abidance in the self, paying attention to consciousness, all these are different language, different words, but it's the same thing. So at the time of death, this person's attention is upon consciousness. So at the time of death, he has no other desires. Such a person who dies desireless will have no birth. Because the seed which has to sprout, that seed is roasted in the fire of knowledge. This is the language used in the scriptures. A roasted seed will not sprout. In the same way, a mind free from desires cannot take rebirth. Rebirth is only to fulfill the unfulfilled desires. This is the great blessing of this knowledge. So that birth becomes the last birth. What happens to this person? He comes to know that he is consciousness. He is existing or non-existing after death, physical death. Of course existence, because existence is our nature. We have this wrong notion that we can exist only with the body. No, it is not. Existence is our nature. We don't need a body to exist. This is a wrong notion. So this is called as liberation, salvation. What are the other terms? Nirvana, Moksha, Mukti, freedom from birth, death cycle, all these things. So this is the ultimate purpose of life. To know myself as I am. Suppose in this birth I don't gain this knowledge, then what will happen? Come back to this world. As long as this knowledge is not gained, there is no freedom. As long as we have not learned the right lessons, there is no freedom from this birth. Exactly like, suppose a child, a student in the school, 5th grade he failed. Where will he go? Will he go to 6th grade? Come back to 5th grade. The world is also like this. Come back, take your body, learn the lesson. There is no bypassing the lesson, no escaping the lesson. So therefore, what is the best thing to do in life? Learn your lesson. Commit suicide and escape, you can't. If you commit suicide, come back, again you will create the same environment which you had created in the past birth. You can't escape. Suicide is not the solution. So whatever difficulties are there, challenges are there, face it, holding on to God. This is the best way. Yes. So yesterday we were seeing this. How to disidentify from the body and identify with consciousness. So how do we do it? At the seat of meditation, what should we do? At the seat of meditation, we see two entities. What are the two entities? The thoughts in the mind, that is the first entity, and the second entity is the observer of the thoughts. That witnessing consciousness. Who is this witnessing consciousness? Bhagavan himself, God himself. And what about the thoughts? They are nothing but worldly thoughts. So now we have a choice to pay attention. Pay attention to the witness or pay attention to the worldly thoughts. If we get carried away by the thoughts, and it will happen if our mind is filled with lacks and dislikes. That is called as Moksha. Carried away by the worldly thoughts. But at the seat of meditation, what are we supposed to do? Remain as a witness. Pay attention to the witness. The more and more your attention is upon this witness, the worldly thoughts, they start coming down. And as your attention goes toward the witness, a time comes when the thoughts are not there, there is only consciousness. And what is the nature of consciousness? Bliss. So therefore, how do we know whether we are progressing in meditation or not? The intensity of peace increases. So only after meditation I feel very peaceful. But then I don't know whether I have meditated or whether I have slept. No, for sure you have slept. Because what is the nature of consciousness? It is Sat Chit Anand. Consciousness means awareness. If you are not aware that you are being blissful at the seat of meditation, that means what? You are not aware. Not aware means what? You slept. So this peace is a state where you are intensely peaceful. You are peaceful with total alertness. If you are not aware, it simply means you have slept. Mind was peaceful. But at the seat of meditation, you are wide awake and the mind is peaceful. Consciously peaceful. Vigilantly peaceful. That is meditation. That is a sattvic state. Sleep is a tamasic state. Wandering mind is a rajasic state. In sattva, you are alert, you are aware, you are experiencing consciousness, and you are experiencing absence of worldly thoughts also. Your attention is upon consciousness. consciousness is Lord Himself. That is when you become free from all stress. Because you come to know how beautifully, powerfully, without command, He is ruling you. Not even one thought escapes without His knowledge. And then you come to know, if God is ruling me in this way, completely, He must be ruling everybody in this way. Every thought in me is rising in consciousness. So that means He is aware of what I am thinking. He is also called as Karma Pradata, the giver of the fruit of action. By Him, the inference is everybody is also ruled by Him. Nobody has an escape. And such a great ruler, the Master, is ruling the world. Why should I be stressed? If such a Lord is taking care of me so beautifully well, why should I be stressed? All stress vanishes. The whole world is beautifully taken care of by an all-powerful, all-knowing God. How do you know this? You know this when you look at it. That is the magnetism. Yes. I have only one thing to do in life, to please Him, to remember Him, to be ever at His feet. And He is right there in my heart as a reset. It's a great relief. I don't have to please every Tom, Dick and Harry in my life. Not needed. I have to please only one Lord. He is right in my heart. And the only thing I have to do is do my duties in a righteous way, following all the values of life. And it is so easy. That is when your mind is at peace. And once you are in tune with God, you are in tune with everything, every being in this world. Your mind is at peace and you are in harmony with the whole creation. Right. Real treasure is inside. The greatest thing of the world is not outside, it is inside. Bhagavad Gita says, Indriyani paranyamahu, indriyebhyah paramana, manasastu parabuddhi, yobuddhi paratah tusaha. As you go inside of yourself, you are going towards that which is greater. In this world, there is lesser things, there are greater things. Smaller things, bigger things. Where are the bigger things? Not outside, but inside. To what extent you can go inside, to that extent you have influence upon the higher. You know, in the office, if you want to get something done, I don't know US, but in India, in a government office, if you want to get things done, you have to have influence upon the higher offices. The higher the influence you have, easier the work will get. In the same way, in this world also there are higher and lower. Compared to the worldly objects, sense organs are higher. Compared to sense organs, mind is higher. Compared to mind, intellect is higher. Compared to intellect, the consciousness is higher. Bhagavan Shankaracharya in his commentary writes, what is higher? So he gives 5 reasons. That which is subtle is higher than the gross. Sukshmatvat. Pratyagatmatvat. That which is inner is higher. Nyamakatvat. that which controls the other is higher. Controller is higher than the controlled. Sukshmatvat, Pratyagatmatvat, Niyamatvat, Mahatvat, that which pervades is higher than which is pervaded. Karanatva, that which is the cause is higher than the effect. You see? Karanatva, the cause is higher than the effect. So therefore parents are higher than the children. Children come from parents, so children have to bow down to parents because cause is higher than the effect. Sukshmatva, that which is subtle is higher than the gross. Thoughts are subtle, actions are gross. So which is higher? Thoughts are higher. First come thoughts, then come action. Niyamakatva, that which controls is higher than the controlled. Master is higher than the servant because master controls the servant. Thoughts are higher than action because thoughts control action. So this way 5 reasons it gives. So you will always find that as you are able to hold on to the inner, you have control over the outer. More and more you become strong in life, the more and more you go with it. Sense objects first. But if you have control over the sense organs, you can decide which sense objects should be exposed. But sense organs, higher than sense organ, what comes? Mind. So if you have control over the mind, you can decide where the sense organs must be exposed, where not to expose. Because everything is there in this world, good and bad. With the control of the mind, you can decide only good things you can expose your sense organs to, bad things you can completely shut off, provided you have control over the mind. But the mind takes decisions based on likes and dislikes. Higher than the mind is intellect, what is right, what is wrong. So intellect controls the mind, mind controls the sense organs are finally exposed to sense objects. So intellect comes even higher. What is higher than intellect? Consciousness, which is God. So the more and more you go within yourself, the more and more you are strong, the more and more you determine, you consciously choose the flow of your life, therefore you are in command of your life. The more and more you go inside, the more and more you are strong because you are nearer God. Because where is God? It is the innermost self. So the more and more we come within, we are nearer to God. Nearer we are to God, all the properties of God slowly starts reflecting in our personality. His strength, His wisdom, His peace. So what does it mean? The more and more we go out, are we becoming weaker or stronger? Corollary. If going inside makes us strong, going outside will definitely make us weak. Going inside means going towards light. In the presence of light, everything is clear. Going outside means going towards darkness. In darkness, what will happen? You see nothing. In darkness, whatever you do, it is a problem. You will end up in disaster. Because nothing is seen. When nothing is seen, even you are walking also will be in the wrong direction. Going away from God means going away from light. towards darkness. You see? So, when we are addicted to mobile phones, internet, are we going within or are we going without? You see the danger? No, Swamiji, I learned so much from internet. You are a fool. You are a fool. Any addiction means you are going out. In fact, going out into the world itself is dangerous. Now when you are addicted to mobile phone, you are going into another illusory world in the illusion. Very dangerous, very dangerous. Going away from your center, going away from that source of bliss, auspiciousness, going away from truth, going away from light. And that is why we have so many psychological problems. Psychological cases are continuously on the rise. And how many problems? Mind becomes a chattering mind when you expose yourself to all these kinds of videos and all that. You just observe. After 2-3 hours of watching something, just close your eyes and see the condition of your mind. Is it peaceful or is it disturbed? You will find that the mind is constantly chattering. Who created this? I myself. Mind is chattering because I have trained the mind to chatter. It is my own choice to jump into it. Mind is chattering. Not only that, 2-3 hours of watching it, are you refreshed or are you exhausted? This is the moment which we have to do. Watch whatever you want to watch, but after that 15 minutes sit in silence. Close your eyes, close your ears, and just sit and just watch your mind. Then you will come to know the consequence, the negative influence of all this exposure to this social media and all that. Very dangerous. You get exhausted. You get tired. Yes, it's a wonderful way of time pass, but there is a price you are paying for the time pass. In this world, nothing comes free. No pain, no gain. So if you are having the gain of time pass, there is some price you are paying for it. And what is the price? You are making the mind more noisy. You are making the mind more impure. That's the price. So what I am trying to say is the more and more we go out, we are entering into problem. People 50 years, 100 years back, they were peaceful. Because such gadgets were not there. Helplessly they were peaceful. Maybe they were not even aware that they were peaceful. More and more you are near the center of bliss, there is more and more of peace. The outer world will be noisy, but your experience will be the experience of peace, even in this Kali Yuga. Don't blame the Yuga. The outer world will be a noisy world, but you have the choice whether to experience peace or whether to experience noise. This is the glory of Vedanta. Vedanta can be practiced everywhere, anytime, by anyone. God is there as a selfness. Nobody can say that God, you have been partial. You give darshan only to some people. Can we say that? No. God says, I am never there with you. You ignored me. Therefore you are suffering. Those who pay attention to me, they are blessed. Those who ignore me, they suffer. So therefore, this is what we have to do. Meditation upon the Lord. meditate upon the Lord in the very consciousness. Paying attention to consciousness is the way. Now this consciousness, is it a Hindu consciousness, Christian consciousness or Muslim consciousness? All these are man-made visions. Sun, is it Hindu sun or Christian sun? Sun is sun, water is water, earth is earth. In the same consciousness has no religion. That is Vedanta. That was the message given by Swami Vivekananda coming to Chicago. That truth, that essence in us is the same. It knows no religion, it knows no nationality, caste, creed, gender. It is beyond all this. So in this world, if there is one religion which can truly bring peace, it is the religion of Vedanta, because there is no division. You can't say that my God is supreme, yours is inferior. No, sister. There is only one God, and that is consciousness. Shift your attention there, matter is over. It brings a vision of necessity of sameness. It's the one thing which can just iron out all differences, all divisions. The philosophy of Vedanta has a potential to bring the whole world together. The ultimate philosophy. So we are all carrying the truth in our heart. Choice is ours, whether to ignore it or pay attention to it. The foolish people, ignorant people, they completely ignore this truth. The wise people, they pay attention to this truth. In fact, their entire life revolves on this. Mahatmanastu Mahapartha Daini Prakriti Mashka Bhajanti Ananya Manasaha Nyatva Bhuta Adi. They are called as Mahatmas, the great souled ones, the wise ones, the mature ones, Mahatma. What do they do? Bhajanti Ananya Manasaha. They have duties, they have responsibilities, everything they do, but one part of the mind is always paying attention to this truth, which is shining in their heart as a very consciousness in them. This is the way the wise people live. Why? They know Nyatva Bhutadimavya, the whole world is existing around this consciousness. They know it. They know the value of this consciousness. Consciousness is the very support of the whole world. How can we say that? Where do you experience the whole world? We experience in our mind. The whole world is seen in our mind. Yes or no? Yes. When the mind is, world is. When the mind is not, world is not. When we go into deep sleep, world is not seen. When we are in the waking state, world is seen. So the whole world depends on the mind for its existence. And what is mind? Flow of thoughts is mind. Where do all these thoughts exist? Thoughts exist in consciousness. So world exists in mind, mind exists in consciousness. So what is the support for the whole world? Consciousness is the support for the whole world. Listen. No Swamiji. World exists without consciousness also. How can we say mind is the support for the whole world? Because when I am asleep, world is not for me, but for somebody else the world is. But for that somebody else, where does the world exist? In the mind only. Can you experience the world without mind? No. So Actually speaking, the whole world is existing in mind only. World has no existence apart from mind. World depends on the mind for its existence. Prove it otherwise. How can you prove it otherwise? Tell me one instance where mind is not but world is. You not. So therefore, world exists in the mind alone. And mind is nothing but thoughts. These thoughts, where do they exist? In consciousness. I am aware of these thoughts. In awareness, thoughts exist. Therefore, what is the support of the world? Consciousness is the support. You see? What is our understanding? I exist in the world. This is the wrong notion we have. But what is the truth? World exists in you. You see the difference? In my ignorance, I think I am in the world. The truth is, world is in you. Mayeva sakalam jatam, my sarvam pratishyatam, my sarvam layam yami, tat brahma toyamasmyam. With principles. The whole world exists in me, comes out from me. The whole world exists in me. The whole world dissolves in me. That infinite, non-dual Brahman I am. So the whole discussion of Vedanta is, you are important. What is the mistake we are doing? I am not important, world is important. All the time we are giving importance to the sea world. Vedanta says, shift your attention to the sea. Don't know who that sea is. Bhagavan himself. Don't ignore him. The more and more you start paying attention to yourself, the more and more you start controlling the world. You become the ruler of this world. The world has no power to control you. So in Vedanta, there's a definition also. We are all called Jivatmas. So who is a Jivatma? Jivatma equal to Paramatma plus ignorance. This is the equation. Paramatma, deluded about himself, is Jiva. Deluded God is called man. Man or woman. So who are we? Deluded God. Exactly like who is the dreamer in the dream world? Who is suffering the dream happenings? The waker himself. Deluded waker is the dreamer. When we wake up, we come to know, the whole world has no existence apart from me. I was suffering in my own dream world, created by me, created by my mind. The dream world has no existence, only waker has existence. From the waker alone exists, the dream world has only a borrowed existence from the waker. So the whole Vedanta says only one thing: pay attention to oneself. All problems will be solved. So what is the practice to be done? When you are in the world, when you are dealing with situations in the world, shift your attention to that witness. You are handling various situations, but there is something in you different from you, witnessing in you, divine in you, higher than you. Just pay attention. Shift your attention to the witness. Be aware with consciousness. If you can live in this way, This is called as God remembrance. Tasmat sarveshu karyeshu mam anusmaranim yajam. Arjuna, always remember me. Then fulfill your duties. Perform your duties. Every moment it can be done. Because many times people ask this question. Swamiji, how can I remember God all the time? Swamiji, for you it is very easy. You have nothing else to do. All the time you can be there by God. But we have so much of responsibility. Not like you, unemployed. You see? Everybody can do this meditation. But in the beginning you need to practice in solitude. Directly you can't do it. At the beginning, practice in solitude. And slowly, yes, that spiritual strength. Now this is called spiritual strength. What is spiritual strength? The ability to remain in witness. The ability to pay attention to consciousness. That is called spiritual strength. How strongly can you remain there? That is your strength. Why is it called strength? It is called strength because to the extent you are able to hold on to consciousness, whatever happens in the outer world cannot affect you. This is a wonder that there is. The world is full of joys and sorrows, ups and downs, honor, dishonor, praise, criticism. This is the world. But to the extent you are rooted in your center, rooted in your consciousness, you will be amazed. The world cannot affect you. Your mind is at peace. This is called as spiritual way of living. This is what we have to practice. So what is the end result of spiritual living? You become a very peaceful person. You become very cheap. Because Ananda is your nature, remember. Don't justify your sorrow. Swamiji, you don't know what all I am going through. This is called as justifying our sorrows. Then you will always be miserable. When the thinking becomes right, we have to be causelessly cheerful. Because cheerfulness is our nature. No reason is needed for being cheerful. For being sorrowful, yes, reason is needed. That's why when a person is happy, we don't know why you are happy. But when a person is sad, we say, hey, what happened to you? Why are you sad? By nature, we are bliss. So this is the purpose of life. This is the way to be free from all stress. Stress is not our nature. Bliss is our nature. So now time has come. So now 1 hour we have this 11:12. We can have some Q&A. It's just an informal Q&A. Whatever questions you have, you can ask. You don't have to feel